If you've been watching the San Diego housing market and wondering what the hell is actually happening, this one's for you. Right now, we're seeing something very interesting. The numbers on paper say one thing, but what's happening on the ground is telling a completely different story. I'm breaking down the November data, the real insights, not just the headlines, so that you can make smart moves, whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping tabs on your biggest asset. Let's get into it. So here's what you're seeing in the news. San Diego home prices dropped 2.1% year over year. Sounds like the market's cooling, right? Maybe even softening, but not quite. Here's what's actually happening, and this is critical to understand. That price drop is a statistical illusion. It's what we call a mix shift. More buyers are being pushed into condos and townhomes because affordability is freaking brutal right now. So when you blend all those lower price sales into the data, it pulls the average down, even though individual home values are stable or even climbing. In fact, when you look at the 4-week rolling average for detached homes, prices are up 2% month over month. That's momentum. The takeaway? The market isn't falling. It's just shifting who's buying and what they're buying. And that matters because if you're waiting for a crash, you're going to be waiting a long time. Here's where it gets interesting. In early November, mortgage rates dropped to about 6.2%. Not amazing, but a real improvement from the 6.8 to 7% that we've been seeing for most of the year. And buyers responded immediately. Pending sales for single-family homes jumped 5% week over week. Condos up 9.6%. That's not a gradual uptick. That's pent-up demand finally being released. People have been sitting on the sidelines, saving money, watching the market, and the second the rates dip, they move in. That demand was always there. It was just waiting for the right moment. But here's the problem. Inventory. New listings actually dropped 45.8% in late November. Now, part of that's seasonal. Thanksgiving week, people pulling back, people not wanting to move during the holidays. Totally normal. But it gets deeper than that. Sellers are still hesitant. They're rate locked. They're waiting for spring, and that means we've got more buyers chasing fewer homes, pending sales are outpacing new listings, and that is a setup for price increases in early 2026, not decreases. If you're thinking about buying, here's the truth. The easy window is closing. Right now, well-priced homes in good areas are going under contract in under 20 days, and some are even getting 3+ offers. Competition is back. It's not the chaos of 2021, but it is heating up. The advantage you have right now is that rates are still around 6.2%, and you have slightly less competition than we'll see in spring. But if you wait until March or April, when everyone else is going to be jumping back into the buyer pool, you're going to be competing harder and potentially paying more. The move? Get pre-approved now. Get clear on what you want and act fast when that right home shows up. If you're thinking about selling, the data says you're in a strong position, but timing matters. Right now, sellers are holding firm. List prices are stable around 1.3 million, and homes are selling at 98 to 100% of ask price on average. But inventory is tight and buyers are active. If you price it right and market it smart, you're going to get offers and potentially multiple offers if it's a desirable property. The risk? If you wait too long and inventory floods in spring, you lose that leverage. Right now, the scarcity is your friend. So what's coming in 2026? Well, the consensus from most analysts and economists is that we're looking at modest but persistent growth, somewhere between 3 and 4.6% in appreciation. Why? Because inventory is still historically low. Demand, it's always strong, and mortgage rates are expected to stabilize in the low 6 range. That's not cheap money, but it's predictable, and predictability brings buyers off the fence. The wild card is the inventory. If more sellers decide to list in 2026 because rates improve, we could see healthy volume with moderate price growth. But If sellers stay stubborn and inventory stays tight, we could see prices spike again, maybe even double-digit growth by the summer. Right now, the market is at an inflection point. It's not crashing, it's not exploding, it's coiling, and the next few months will determine which direction it goes. Look, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out what your home is actually worth in this crazy market, the key is having a real strategy, not just guesswork. If you want to talk through your specific situation with no pressure, no sales pitch, just send me a message or drop a comment below. I'll send you a link to book a strategy call and we'll map out what makes sense for you in your situation. And if this was helpful, hit subscribe. I break down the San Diego market every month so you're never guessing what's actually happening. Let's build your next move with a real plan. See you in the next one.